Hello everybody and welcome in a new video on my channel. So today we'll take a look on how I've created this artwork that you're seeing here. So I will try to go through the different steps that I've gone through to create this artwork and the different assets that I've used, the different techniques that I've used too. So this artwork that I've made actually is also on my Instagram account. I make different types of artworks, but you can check down the link in the description if you want to follow me or something. So let's get into different steps that I usually go through to create something like this type of abstract and surreal artworks that I like to create actually. And the first thing that I do usually is to get inspired using or from different artists and from different resources too. So the main resource that I usually take a look at is Pinterest. Pinterest is actually an amazing platform that many artists that you can find the works of many artists and creators. Instagram too, you can find also on Instagram creators like that, but I like Pinterest because of the recommendation that it provides, and I find it really valuable. So what I usually do is to take a look at different artworks that I like, and then I usually put them in a collage or something so that I can look at them very well and try to get inspired from them. So you can see here there are many types of artworks that you could use as inspiration or reference for your artwork, especially if you're interested in this kind of artworks. So the next thing to do is to open up Blender, obviously. So in this video I won't be doing everything from scratch. I will just try to make a breakdown on the scene that I've made and some of the key points or the key concepts that I find valuable while creating such an artwork. So I will be showing assets one by one. So the first thing that I've done is the landscape or the terrain that I first have created. So there are many ways that you can create such terrain. The technique that I've used is actually the built-in landscape generator from Blender. So let's try to create, just to show you guys how I've done that. So when you add in a terrain like here, you can control the different specifications of this terrain. So you can play around with the different settings of the terrain till you have what you want and what you desire actually. So you just have to play around with these till you get actually what you want. I don't remember exactly what the one that I think this one. Can maybe scale it down on the Z or something till you have the thing that suits you the best. The next thing that I've done is giving it the textures, and to do that I've actually searched for textures online. So the texture that I've used is from an image from Unsplash. So you can go to Unsplash and try and type in sand texture or whatever texture you want to use. So I've used one of these, and I have used also the roughness, bump and normal maps from texture.com so that it gives it some realistic look. Then what I've done is to select your principal BSDF, type in Ctrl Shift and T and go to your go to the location of your texture that you have downloaded and hit enter, and Blender will automatically set the textures so that they look like this. The next thing is that I've done is adding these rocks right here. So the rocks, I think that I've imported them from Sketchfab. So this asset that I've used as rocks, you can find the link down in the description. You will find also many different assets that you may use in your artworks or scenes. As you can see here, the mode license of the mode is just attribution. So if you are a good man, you have to make an attribution for the guy that have made this. So it's really valuable asset. As you can see, it's very realistic and very good to use in your scenes. So you have just to file, import, FBX or whatever format you have downloaded, and it will be added here and set it accordingly. The other asset that I've added is the chair. So the chair that I've used is right here in this page. You can find also the link for it in the description, and you can also use it in your scenes and attribute back to the creator and the website. The next thing that I've added is I've added a particle system right here, which represents some grass and flowers right here, as you can see. So the way I've done that is I've selected, let me hide this one for a moment. So I've selected the terrain that I want to apply the particle system on, and I have switched to weight painting so that you can paint the exact spot that you want to put your grass on, or any particle system that you want to put. And when you go to the particle system, when you scroll down to the density, you select your group that you have added. So automatically when you select or when you highlight any spot from the terrain, it will add automatically a group, vertex group right here. So what you have to do is to go down to the in the particle settings, density, and select the group, the according group of the corresponding group that you want to apply. And for the grass system that I've used, it's actually from BlendSwap. So BlendSwap actually provides many grass systems that you can use in your scene. I think that I've used this one. You will find also the link for it in the description. You can also search in the website. There are many and various grass systems that you can use in your scenes. So what you have to do is just select your object that you want to put the grass on, and just add in, click this little plus button and just render as collection. So if the objects that you have are in a collection, you select and instance it right here. As you can see here, there are many collections that I have. I've selected the grass flower, and in another particle system I selected this one, grass green, I think. And so that you have some randomness right here, you can set the settings here accordingly, the number of items, the length, and etc., the randomness too right here. So I've ended up with this exact look right here. Next, the thing that I've added is the cloud. So the cloud actually, as you can see here, it's very heavy for rendering because it's a volumetric cloud. I've actually followed the tutorial of CG Matter. Is a YouTube creator that you may know from his videos. So I followed his tutorial and I have used the cloud in my scene here. This is the video actually. You will see. You will find the link for it in the description. You can create it from scratch and follow the tutorial. Finally, the last thing that I have added to the scene is some shapes in the middle to enhance the composition of my render. So sometimes you can add something and it will ruin your entire scene, so you have to be careful about that. As I've said, sometimes you will have to be careful about the shapes that you add in your scene. So as this exact scene is a surreal and an abstract scene, it will be easy for you to add stuff because it's abstract in the first place, and you can add whatever you want, whatever shape you want. So I've wanted to add this minimalistic kind of rectangles, but you may call them rectangles, and I've added for them a gloss shader. I mixed it with a transparent shader here. So for the lighting, I've used the built-in sky texture from Blender, so you can just add it from here. You can select the world, a new world here in the panel, and for the color you can select sky texture and it will be automatically lighted. Your scene will be automatically lighted. You can play around with the settings right here accordingly till you have the desired scene that you want to end up with. So another thing that may enhance the look of your final render is the contrast and the color management. So here in this tab, in color management tab, you can play around with this contrast, this look option, and high contrast. I've set it to high contrast. It's by default medium contrast. So as you can see here, this is the default look of the render. As you can see, it's a bit pale and it's not really good comparing to the high contrast or very high contrast. So you can, this may also enhance the add to the realism of your final render. So that is another thing that you can take into consideration. So that everything is set into place, you can set the render sampling of your final scene for your final render, and the resolution and the hit render. So this was a breakdown video for the scene that I've made. It was a pretty simple video just to show you guys how I've made this scene and the different steps that I usually go through to create such scenes. So guys, I hope that you've learned something in this video. You can find the resources down in the description. Thank you for watching and see you in the next time, inshallah.